You are listening to The Tony Stiles Show.
Welcome back to The Tony Stiles Show. As promised, we have Sheriff Mack on the line. Sheriff Mack is, I've been looking up to this guy for a long time, and I read stuff on his website. We're going to talk to him right now and just get right to it because I don't want to waste any time of me talking any further because what he says is golden to me. Sheriff Mack, how you doing?
Good, Tony. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate being on your show.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to having you for a long time, and I met you up in Long Island at Gigi Bowman's event up there at the Save Long Island Forum, and I was really excited that we got to exchange numbers and get things going. This is exciting for me.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot of guests I have on that maybe I'm not so excited. This I'm very excited for.
Well, thanks, and nobody has to worry because there's not a smidgen of corruption within the IRS or any other government agency. Not a smidgen.
Tell me about it. Tell me about this, Sheriff Mack.
Well, that's all we preach is that there's far too much corruption and that there's something we can do about it. And if your listening audience wants to see our solution, they can be a part of it at cspoa.org.
cspoa.org.
Charlie Sierra Papa Oscar Adam, or it stands for Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association.
I like that.
Well, the bottom line is, if you have judges and legislators that are going to try to force their political, selfish, anti-American, pro-Marxist agendas down our throats, they're going to need somebody in uniform to enforce that for them, and we're telling everybody in uniform to tell them to drop dead, and that we're not going to enforce their laws or decrees. And matter of fact, we're going to enforce the Constitution. We're going to stand by the Second Amendment. We're going to stand by the rest of the Bill of Rights. And if they don't like it, too bad.
I like that. And that's the way that we should be, because we are the ones that actually run the government. People don't realize that. And I don't know why, where we got lost, at what point in time. Maybe you do, I don't. Maybe I'm ignorant. But I don't know at what point we lost track of the fact that the people of the United States are the ones that run things.
Well, some of the lying politicians are going to tell you right then, well, yeah, they do that because they get to vote. We let them vote. Well,
yeah, we let them vote. I love it when they say they let us do things.
They let us keep some of our money.
Yeah.
They let us vote. They let us drive down the road until they want to set up a roadblock and stop us and check our papers. So, we don't live in a free country anymore. And I'm telling you that we do have a plan, a peaceful plan to take America back, ignore Washington, D.C., make Washington, D.C. tyranny, corruption, criminality irrelevant, and then we take back America county by county and state by state.
Now, when you say county by county and state by state, does that mean that you're advocating for people to start at local levels?
I'm not only advocating, I'm ordering that.
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope some of your listeners take orders because, yes, I am ordering that. I'm not a sheriff anymore, and even if I was, I'd still be giving this order.
Yeah, and it's true. I believe this 100%, and I'm glad to hear it from you. It's absolutely true. People starting at a local level and a state level, these are things that need to happen because you can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to be president. It just doesn't happen like that.
Well, it doesn't, and the powers that be make sure that they raise up people to become president, and that's what happened to the current occupant of the White House.
This is very true.
And, the movie 2016...
Yeah, Dinesh D'Souza is a friend of mine.
Should have absolutely scared everybody to death.
It should have.
And I don't believe he exposed a smidgen of what really is all there.
No, yeah, it's absolutely true. And Dinesh D'Souza, the guy that wrote and directed the whole thing, he was in it. He's a great guy. He's in a little trouble right now.
Yeah. Because
of of course, this is what happened. He makes the movie, and of course Obama doesn't like that, the ruler of the free world. He does not like this. So
no, of course not.
So now what he's done is Dinesh is in trouble for illegal campaign contributions. So they're investigating him and they freeze his funds.
Yeah, that never happens within the Obama campaign or the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Never happens.
Yeah. Talk about targeting. No, the targeting doesn't exist. Come on, seriously? And this guy, he was president of my university at King's College in New York. Mm-hmm. And he just a great guy, strong man of faith, a Christian man. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not saying that all Christians are good people because I know plenty of scummy ones. I'm a Christian person. Sometimes I can be scummy. But He's not one of those. He's a good person.
Well, I really thought it was a good movie. I disagreed with him on one thing about that there's solid evidence that Obama was born in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. First of all, I'm not saying where he was born, but I am saying that there's a legitimate criminal investigation against the Obama birth certificate, and if it doesn't matter about where he was born and he was sure that he was born in Hawaii, he would need to release a fraudulent birth certificate.
What do you think of all the Democrats that say, oh, he didn't give that to him because he was too busy finding Osama bin Laden?
Oh, yes. Oh, good grief.
Because that's their excuse. Oh, well, he was kind of busy finding Osama bin Laden, so that's why he didn't give up his birth certificate. Yeah. I think that's a bunch. That's a load of crap. Personally, that's what I think.
Well, it is, and tell your guy that did that documentary on Obama. Tell him I want to do one on the power of sheriffs and what we're doing to restore America. So tell him to call me. Let's do one.
Well, maybe Gary Franchi can help you out with that.
Yeah, I know Gary really well.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. And I do things a lot with Next News Network, and this show airs on Next News Network. The video cast of it while we're on the radio in a few cities around the United States.
Yeah, Franchi helped with the one that Aaron Russo did too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fascism, so.
Yep. Oh God, yeah, I love the guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's just a great guy.
Yeah, Gary's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he'd do a heck of a job of that kind of thing. But putting the kind of backing behind it that Dinesh D'Souza has, that'd be great, because the 2016 movie that's the second largest documentary ever made now.
Well, that's why I wanted him, because he probably has the funding to help us do ours.
Yeah. Well, and we'll find out if that funding's illegal or not pretty soon, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me a little bit more. What else do you have going on? We're talking to Sheriff Mack on the Tony Stiles Show.
Well, we have an amazing document that, in fact, I just have two that came back in my hand. One from the sheriff of Fulton County, New York, Tom Lowry.
All right.
And he signed this document. He and his son are both in law enforcement. His son's a deputy sheriff of Saratoga County. Doesn't work for his father in Fulton County. But we got together in Las Vegas on January 24th and had a CSPOA conference specifically designed to come up with a resolution so that we could tell the federal government, look, there's a few things that you guys need to be reminded of that are against the Constitution and that you're going to now follow. And when I sued the federal government, back when I was sheriff in fact, it was 20 years ago, this February 28th, that I filed the lawsuit. We actually won in June of 1997. Can you believe that? Sheriff suing the Clinton administration and won, living to tell about it. But more importantly, we won. We won a landmark decision, and everyone should be familiar with this case.
Yeah, I am.
Well, the resolution that we have promulgated is an amazing document. I think it's the most amazing document of my lifetime, and I'm 61 years old. We further reaffirm that the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, in other words, we reaffirm the 10th Amendment, and that we also say something that I think that this is absolutely astonishing that we've allowed this to happen. Furthermore, we maintain that no agency established by the United States Congress can develop its own policies or regulations which somehow supersede the Bill of Rights or the Constitution.
I like that. And that's the way it should be. I don't know why that's not something that's just a given.
I know. But the EPA thinks they can come in and take your property without due process or anything else. The FDA is probably even worse. They'll come in and do spot inspections on farms and on ranches and on personal businesses.
Yeah, I know all about it. I'm a Nebraska boy. You don't have to tell me. I've seen it happen.
Oh, yeah, then you know. They don't have to have probable cause. They don't have to have search warrants. They don't have to have due process. They just come in and do it. And if they find something, they'll shut you down, take away your property, take away your kids, whatever they want to do. And none of that was due according to the Bill of Rights or the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. So we're saying that's not valid anymore. Sorry.
So what makes them think that they can do this? Because I'm confused. It seems like a pretty airtight document.
Well, you know, one of them is because the United States Supreme Court, their own court system, has said they can. Just like with roadblocks. The United States Supreme Court says if you stop everybody, then you don't have to have probable cause. What do you think being secure in your papers, person, and effects means? It means you still have to have probable cause. But the Supreme Court has ruled if you stop everybody on these roadblocks, then you don't have to.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's so absurd.
That is absurd.
Gosh.
That's insane. And
so, but what I'm saying and what we teach is the Supreme Court doesn't run your office. And you know better, and you don't have to run these roadblocks. And if you do run these roadblocks, you have to make sure that they're voluntary. And this is what we preach. And I prefer not to do roadblocks at all because I don't want to look like Nazi Germany asking
Absolutely.
people for their papers before they're allowed to go down the road.
I got into a little bit of trouble for that myself.
But you know what? There's other ways to catch drunk drivers than to run roadblocks on New Year's Eve every year. I guarantee you there's other ways.
Okay? You know, it seems to me if they actually wanted to stop people from drinking and driving, wouldn't they just put in the interlock system in all cars as a standard feature?
Yes, or why don't we just make booze illegal?
I don't like that idea.
Yeah, well, I don't drink, but I guarantee you I don't want that law ever again. But I don't want the one on marijuana or any of the other drugs either. Oh, you mean, Sheriff, you would say legalize heroin? Well, let me see.
I love this. You're asking questions for me. We're talking to Sheriff Mack on the Tony Style Show. Go ahead. I love it. Go ahead.
Well, let's see. Are you trying to tell me that because we have it illegal, people aren't using it? I mean, people are using it all the time. We just got to... Who was the actor that just died because he OD'd
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Bad Batch of Heroin.
Yeah, I love the guy, too, and I was really
Great
sad
actor.
when he chose to be so stupid.
Yeah.
But having government protect us from our own stupidity, our own appetites, our own addictions, is the worst thing we could ever ask.
Oh, yeah,
for
absolutely.
to do.
Absolutely.
Oh, stupid.
And we're doing it more and more. Look at kids in school right now with the lunch program they're changing around.
Oh, yeah, and not only that, if parents send bad lunches to sack lunches with their kids, then the school will throw it away and make them eat some of their bread pizza and 10-day-old peas.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely insane. This was going on even when I was in high school, and I'm not very old. I'm still pretty young. This was happening not too long ago. Before the Obamas, it was before Bush. Yeah. It was during Clinton when I was in high school, and they were already making sure that you didn't bring pop to drink, that you didn't bring certain oily, fatty foods to eat.
Did they sell pop in the school all over the place?
Yeah, they sold it in vending machines. They just unplugged the vending machines conveniently at 8:10 when school started and plug it back in at 3:15.
We'll sell them, but we'll unplug them.
Yeah, absolutely, because we want people. Because I don't know what the rules are, but I know there was money involved somewhere that made them make this decision. It wasn't because they cared about my health. And I did have a teacher one time, my track coach. I came out of the cafeteria, walked to my table, sat down, and I had a burger and fries, and he looked at it, and he grabbed it, and he tossed it in the trash.
Good grief.
Yeah, and I bought that at school. I said, why would you do that? And he says, you have a track meet tomorrow. And I said, okay, I get it. I'll buy that. I understand. The guy wants to win. He's serious. He gave me money. He said, go buy something healthy. And that was nice, I guess.
That's a coach technique.
That's a coach thing.
Yeah, that's right. I had a coach tell us not to spend very much time with girls. Why?
Was he perhaps a homosexual?
No.
Was he one of these guys that shows up at business conferences and say, "Hey guys, leave them girls alone. Let's go and have some fun."
He just thought they would keep us out too late. He wanted to make sure that we kept curfew.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he was a fun guy, a good guy. But
find the right girl.
Coaches are crazy. I tell you.
They want to win.
They want to win. That's
absolutely.
Right.
We're talking to Sheriff Mack on the Tony Style Show. We have to take a break. It looks like here in a couple seconds. That's why they're playing the music.
Okay.
So we're going to come back. We're going to do a solution segment. Tell me, what solution do you want to go after in the solution segment?
Stopping the overreach of the federal government.
I like it. We will be right back on the Tony Style Show. We're going to solve the problem with the overreach of the American government. Stay right here, baby.